Okay, this is lesson 5.4 homework, pages 293 to 294. We're not going to use this fraction method. We're going to use the converting to a decimal. You should know how to convert all of these to a decimal. So I'm going to say it the first time, and after that I won't. You know that you take the percent and divide it by 100. That makes that percent a decimal. Now we can use it to multiply times the value. So that's saying 55% of 600. And then I'm going to take my calculator. I'm going to do this off here so that I can 0.55 times 600. That comes out to 330. So 55% of 600 is 330. Okay. This is a little different, so I'll also show this. 4 divided by 100 is 0.04. You have to watch that 0. 0.04 times 50 is 2. So 4% of 50 is 2. And the last one, 0.1 times 2350. And again, I shouldn't have to show you how to change this to 0.1. Next. Now, some of these different ones I'm going to show you. So this is 160 divided by 100, which comes out to 1.6 times 30. That's 48. So notice that's greater than 30 because it's 160%. So this becomes 1.05 times 260. And I get an answer of 273. Notice it's greater because that's greater than 100%. Here's another tricky one. I want to take the whole, because there's a decimal in the percent, it's 0.5%. I'm going to divide that by 100, and I'm going to get 0.005. 0.005 times 12. The actual value is 0.06. This is 0.5%. Okay, so it's a very small number. 0.4 times 16.5. When I do that on my calculator, 6.6. Okay, next. The recommendation daily amount for vitamin C is 45 milligrams. A serving of juice is 60% of the recommended amount. How much vitamin C does the juice contain? So it's 60% of 45 is what we're looking at. So that becomes 0.6 times 45. Take my calculator, 0.6 times 45. It's 27 milligrams. That's how much it contains. That's 60% of that. Next, during a 60-minute television program, 25% of the time is used for commercials. 5 is used for opening and closing. How many minutes remain for the program itself? So we use 25 plus 5. 30% is gone. So that means 100 minus 30, 70% is left. So we need to find 70% of 60. So remember, that's 0.7 times 60 or 42 minutes for other stuff. Okay, I'm not going to bother with 11 right now. We're going to go to the back. Okay, you have to read these on your own, even if it's hard to see. A store has a display case with cherry, peach, and grapefruit juice. There are 160 fruit juice in the display. 25% of the fruit juice are cherry, 40 are peach. How many grapefruit juice are there? So we've got 25 plus 40. 65% are peach and cherry. So now, if I do 100 minus 65, 35% are grape. So I need to find 35% of 160. 0.35 times 160. 0.35 times 160. So 56 grape. So 35% of 160 is 56. Next, Kelly has a ribbon that's 60 inches long. She cuts 40% off for an art project. While working on the art project, she decides she only needs 75% of the piece she cut off. So let's first find out 40% of 60. So I'm going to take 0.4 times 60. Okay. 0.4 times 60. So that's 24 inches. But she says she only needs 75% of that. How many inches does Kelly end up using? So she needs 75% of this 24. 0.75 times 24. So we're going to find out what 75% of 24 is. She only uses 18 inches. So she cut off 40%, but she only used 75% of that. So in the end, she only used 18 inches. Okay? Next, 3 of the following statements are true. Which one is not true? So the absolute value, negative 12 is 12. That is true. That's 20 is greater than 10. That is true. 0 is greater than negative 4. That one is true. I thought that was going to be the false one. 6 is less than, well, the absolute value of that is 3. This is the one that is not true. Remember, absolute value is the distance from 0, the positive distance. Mayuka can type 135 words in 3 minutes. How many words in 8 minutes? This should be easy. 135 words in 3 minutes. Set up your proportion. 8 minutes, words to minutes, words to minutes. Cross multiply and divide. 135 times 8 divided by 3. And that'll tell us how many words per minute. So I'm going to use my calculator. 135 times 8 divided by 3. So if she gets to type for 8 minutes, which is longer, she would type 360 words. Okay, remember there's 100 pieces, 10 by 10. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 63%. 60 plus these 3. About 3/5 of the students at Roosevelt Elementary School live within 1 mile of the school. What percent of the students live within 1 mile? So you should know this from the work we've been doing. 3 divided by 5, that's 0.6 times 100, 60% within 1 mile. Okay.